Join us as we delve into the stats and stories of the Premier League's most influential players this season, from breakthrough talents to seasoned veterans. Find out who's been making the biggest impact on the pitch. Anto, we have a list of 10 players. We're going to go through them one by one. You're going to kick us off. Who do you think should make the list thus far?
Well, one name that should definitely make the list is Maddison of Tottenham. I think he's been an absolutely fantastic signing for him. He was a quality player. Always been a big fan of him. And you can see the impact he's had on that Spurs team already. Obviously, they sit top of the league, so, I don't like that. But, it just goes to show just how good of a player he is. And he's just wonderful to watch as well. Every time he gets on the ball, he just looks like making something happen. And he just always asking for the ball as well. He's never shying away. He's never hiding. And he's proven to be probably their most important player at the moment. Maybe bar coming Son, one or the other. But he's been absolutely fantastic.
Postecoglou has really given him some freedom there, hasn't he? Where he's dropping back and he's just picking up the ball and...
But we always seen this from Maddison. Like we seen this when he was at Leicester as well, and there was a lot of teams that were in for him. But I think he suits Spurs perfectly because they needed that type of player. I think everywhere else, all the other big clubs already had that position filled out. So I don't think it would have made sense for him to go anywhere else besides Spurs. So it's a perfect fit for him at the moment.
So from one Tottenham player to another, Bissouma is doing big things right now for Spurs. He's probably one of their best players. He's on the team sheet every week. Big things were expected from Bissouma when he joined from Brighton last summer for 25 million. Obviously Antonio Conte was the manager at the time. He struggled to get him performing. He looked a bit awkward really in Conte's. I think Conte was playing a 3-4-2-1, I believe.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. But look, Bissouma has kicked on under Postecoglou and looks like he could yet be a successful signing for the club. What a start to the season, Anto.
Yeah, he's been so good, along with James Maddison. He's been very, very important for that Spurs team, and I think it goes to show when you get a manager that actually believes in you and trusts you to play, in a way that he's capable of doing, because he's very, very good on the ball. He's very good at winning the ball back. He works very hard for his team. And for whatever reason, Antonio Conte didn't see that when he had him. And, he was frozen out essentially. He couldn't get in the team. He wasn't getting a fair chance, I don't think. And you saw how they struggled, Spurs last season. And now this season you see just a completely different team. And that's down to players like Bissouma. But again, a lot of credit goes to the manager, to Big Ange, So yeah, he's definitely been one of the most influential players in the Premier League this season.
Definitely, and he's played almost every minute of Spurs' strong start to the season so far. He's arguably been their best player. Even Peter Crouch came out recently and said Bissouma looks like a 100 million player right now.
I suppose any player that puts in a couple of good performances, all of a sudden they're 100 million. Like, it's the way it is nowadays. But yeah, I know he deserves every praise he's getting at the moment because he's been fantastic.
Yeah, he's been top. Who do you have next on the list?
Heung-min Son, another Tottenham player. So, like we all know over the last few years, Heung-min Son has been a fantastic player. So,
yeah,
I think when Harry Kane left, a lot more pressure came onto Heung-min Son. So, he's doing his bits right now. He's scoring a lot of goals, important goals as well. And obviously he's the captain of the football club now, and he's fitting that armband at the moment perfectly. Like I said, we know what he's capable of. With his dribbling, his passing, his vision, his goal scoring ability. It's just another fantastic player, and another huge reason as to why Spurs are sitting where they are in the league at the moment.
As you said, Harry Kane, when he left, he had big shoes to fill there. The main player, and he's taking that job perfectly well. Next, I have a Chelsea player. Woo! Chelsea are on the list, guys. Cole Palmer, of course. Cole Palmer has received plenty of plaudits for his performances in recent weeks after Pochettino moved him into a false number 9 role, which is perfect for him, where he can just sit back, stay up there. He's great on the ball. He's got a great eye for a pass as well. Obviously, England under 21's international impressed over the summer. They didn't concede 1 goal, so that huge confidence there coming into the season. Of course, Chelsea signed him on the deadline day, and he scored in a 2-2 game there against Arsenal over the weekend. Some balls as well to take that penalty. I don't know if you've seen it, but Sterling wanted that penalty, and he said, "No way, Jose."
Yeah, exactly. But he was calm about it. He wasn't like, they weren't really arguing that heavily with each other. And
he was calmer.
Yeah, man, he was he was calmer. Yeah, he was. That's good. I like that. No, man. I think it's no surprise when you seeing the recent performance of Chelsea that he's one of the big reasons why we perform so well. I think he's been quality, man. Honestly, and I think 40 million. I think eventually would look like a bargain. Would look like nothing. Brilliant player.
Yeah, he looks undroppable as well for Pochettino right now.
Oh, he's starting now. There's no way he can't get dropped. Not a chance. He's in there right now. Great
player. Great future. Next you have
Julian Alvarez.
What a year it's been. Like the last 12 months for him. He's won the World Cup. He's won the treble. What a year.
I think I've seen a stat, something about like every game he started so far, he hasn't lost. I think from Man City. I could be wrong, but I thought I saw something like that. But anyway, he's one of those players at the moment that kind of went under the radar because of Erling Haaland being there and scoring all those goals.
Yeah.
But now people are really starting to see this guy has real quality. And I think if Haaland wasn't there, he probably still would have won the league with him up top, playing every single game. Not saying he would get the same amount of goals as Haaland, but he'd still get a decent amount. I say 25 plus goals, I'd say. I think he's a really good player and he's a fantastic finisher, man. Some of his goals there, he just made it look so easy. So yeah, he definitely on the list for one of the most influential players.
And you know you're doing something right when you're linked with Barcelona and Real Madrid at the same time as well, Moving on to the next player though, I have Gallagher, another Chelsea player you'd be happy to know. Look, we all thought Conor Gallagher would be shafted over the summer, we did. And look, I'll hold my hands up. I was one of those fans that wanted him out the door. He just didn't do it last season. Yeah. Saying that though, did many Chelsea players do it last season? No. So, look, he gritted his teeth and thought, I'm going to win my place, and he has. And to be honest with you, he's probably one of the players I would have on my starting 11 every game now going forward. The energy that man has, how he has it, I do not know. He gets up and down that pitch for full 90 minutes. His end product for me still isn't where it was at Palace. He still needs to work on that, but he's been a very influential player this season so far for Chelsea. Definitely one of our best players.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw, even in that Arsenal game, he was actually the best midfielder on that pitch that game.
Easily,
he ran easily, and he was better. He was better than Rice. He was better than Caicedo. Everyone in that midfield, he was better than. He was just everywhere. He suffocated the life out of that Arsenal midfield. And like I was like you, if Chelsea had sold them, I would be like, whatever, wouldn't mind. But right now, when you show performances like that, you deserve to stay in the team, and that's all I need to see from Conor Gallagher. Just keep doing the same thing that he's doing now, and he'll be fine.
Who do you have next on that list for us?
And that is the guy I just mentioned. It was Declan Rice. I think everybody knew what a great player he is when he was at West Ham. I suppose more people know now because he plays for Arsenal. A lot of more Arsenal fans have watched him play, and they're singing his praises. And I think there's no doubt that Declan Rice is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Obviously, people are going to talk about the price that he was bought for. He's definitely not worth the money they paid for him, but like a lot of transfers nowadays, clubs have to overpay for what a player is really worth. But you can see the influence he's having on the Arsenal team at the moment. Even I think he has these leadership qualities as well that he's brought to the squad. Sort of calmness as well, and it's a type of player that Arsenal have needed for years and years, I think. And it's working out really well for him.
Anthony Gordon next on my list. Simple. Gordon has 7 goal involvements in 8 Premier League games this season. 40 million looks like a right steal. Yeah,
Ollie Watkins, I think, deserves a shout to be on the list. I think he had a pretty poor season. Pretty poor start to the season. He wasn't scoring at all, and then all of a sudden, I think funny enough, he came up against Chelsea and then he broke his duck in that game.
Of
He
course.
scored a winning. Yeah, of course. He scored a winning goal in that game, and he hasn't looked back since. He's scoring it nearly every match now, and I've always rated Ollie Watkins. I think I'm surprised as to why some other clubs aren't looking to buy him, the bigger ones, like Man United, for example. I know they got Hoyland now, but even before that, I would have looked at him, Ollie Watkins, to get through the door. I think
would you take him
Premier
at
League.
Chelsea?
Yeah, I would. I definitely would. Absolutely. Why not? I mean, you look at the strikers we have now with Nicholas Jackson and Broja. Broja, unfortunately, can't stay fit, even though I think he's a fantastic player. And Jackson, I don't know, I'm still a bit, iffy about him. So I definitely would 100% take Ollie Watkins. Yeah. I think he's a very good player.
From one Villa player to another, Douglas Luiz is last on the list. Aston Villa midfielder, of course. He arrived from Manchester City in 2019. He's been in incredible form lately, especially under Unai Emery. He scored a brace against West Ham over the weekend. It took him to 6 goals for the season so far, already closing on his career best total. He's just a top player, isn't he? And he's been linked with all the big teams in the Premier League at the moment. He's been linked with United, Liverpool, Arsenal.
Yeah, he's been really quality, man. And that's another player that nobody really expected to do this well at the start of the season. And like you said, he's been scoring goals from midfield, and that is priceless. When you look at some of the other midfielders in the Premier League, there's not really much around that would score that many goals from midfield. So he deserves his praise at the moment, and he's an integral part to that Villa side at the moment.
And Villa are flying.
They're flying, yeah. And he's one of the reasons. Him and Ollie Watkins. Of course, there's a few others. I think Matty Cash deserves a shout as well.
I put him in my FPL as well, yeah.
Yeah, the new signing Diaby as well. He's very, very dangerous player. Yeah.
Even the likes of Leon Bailey coming off the bench as well, top players, man. Yeah. That's our top 10 influential players of the season so far in the Premier League. It might change in a month's time, 2 months' time. We'll come back to it. Comment, share your thoughts, opinions, and feedback in the comment section down below. We love hearing from our viewers, so make sure you do hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications.